Beneath our feet, in a world we rarely notice, a complex civilization is waking up.
To the naked eye, it looks like chaos. But this is a masterpiece of organization.
For most, the work is endless. They carry loads 50 times their own body weight.
But look closer. Not everyone is working.
While the colony buzzes with activity, this individual hasn't moved for 20 minutes.
Is she sleeping? Is she grooming? Or is she simply lazy?
She is practically an obstacle. Other workers have to climb over her to do their jobs.
Scientists have discovered a shocking truth. In many colonies, up to 40% of the workforce does absolutely nothing.
Remarkably, she isn't starving. The hard-working foragers actually return to feed her.
So why do they exist? Are they a burden to the colony or its secret weapon?
Is she injured? Her legs are intact. Her exoskeleton is flawless. Remarkably, she isn't starving. The hard-working foragers actually return to feed her.
Trophallaxis, the transfer of liquid food. She is being supported by the colony's taxes.
Why feed a mouth that doesn't work? Is she a pet? Or living food storage?
Midnight, 2 a.m., 4 a.m., still nothing. Is she just old and retired? Compare her to this veteran forager.
No, her armor is unblemished. Her mandibles are razor sharp. She is young, strong, and capable.
Disaster strikes. The nest is under attack.
Panic ensues. The workers scramble to save the next generation.
But look at her. She doesn't run. She doesn't panic. She waits.
Invaders. Fire ants. Smaller, faster, and deadly.
She wasn't lazy. She is a specialized soldier.
Her massive jaws are built for one purpose: dismembering enemies.
She conserved energy for weeks, just for this single moment of brute force.
The inactive ants are the colony's reserve corps, a fresh army ready when the front line fails. Her massive jaws are built for one purpose: dismembering enemies.
The line holds. The reserve troops have saved the colony.
Bursts of high activity deplete their metabolic reserves rapidly.
Bursts of high activity deplete their metabolic reserves rapidly. The reconstruction crew arrives. Does our hero join them?
No, her job is done. She leaves the manual labor to the others. She returns to her post, to the exact same spot in the dark.
She needs to refuel. She is a biological battery that has been drained.
Her crop, or social stomach, fills with sugary liquid. She is becoming a living silo again. And so, she waits.
Maybe for hours. Maybe for weeks.
This is energy economics. If everyone worked all the time, the colony would burn out and starve.
Laziness, it turns out, is not a flaw. It is a survival strategy. But are there other secrets hidden in the deep?
Thousands of miles away, in the tropical rainforests, another society thrives on hard labor.
The leaf cutters, the farmers of the insect world. They construct highways of green stretching for miles. Their jaws vibrate at 1,000 times per second, slicing through tough veins with surgical precision.
It is equivalent to a human carrying a delivery van with their teeth.
But wait, who is this passenger? A tiny hitchhiker riding on the cargo.
She is a minima, and she appears to be doing absolutely nothing.
Is this pure laziness? Why add extra weight to an already heavy load?
The answer comes from the sky. The phorid fly. A nightmare for the ants. She is not a freeloader. She is a bodyguard, defending her sister's defenseless neck.
Without these tiny riders, the carriers would be defenseless against parasites. Laziness is actually vigilance.
The leaves are not for eating. They are raw materials for a factory. Welcome to the city of fungus.
The leaves are processed, cut smaller and smaller by a cascade of ever smaller workers.
The tiniest ants, the minimas, are the gardeners. They feed the fungus with leaf pulp.
Hygiene is critical. Waste collectors haul dangerous refuse to distant dumps, never to return.
Behold the queen, a giant among midgets. She is the size of a mouse compared to her daughters.
She hasn't taken a step in 10 years. She is fed, cleaned, and cared for every second.
Is this the ultimate laziness? To be weighted on hand and foot?
Hardly. She is a prisoner of her own biology, laying 30,000 eggs every single day.
But in the dry meadows of the north, there exists a carpenter ant that redefines the word lazy.
Here, red ants and black ants live together. But look closer at the power dynamic.
The red Amazon ant is incapable of feeding herself. Her jaws are so specialized for war, she cannot chew.
They are curved sabers, piercing weapons designed for one thing only: puncturing the brains of their enemies.
Without their black servants, the Amazon ants would die of starvation in 2 days. They are the ultimate masters.
But the lethargy is about to end. A scout has returned. She has found a target.
A raid is organizing. The masters are waking up for their only purpose: war.
They march in a tight column. Silent, fast, deadly. The target: a peaceful colony of Formica ants. They have no idea what is coming. The raid begins. It is a massacre. The defenders are overwhelmed. The Amazon ants do not stop to fight. They push through like a flood.
Their jaws are not for biting. They are curved daggers that pierce the brain, killing instantly.
The defenders deploy chemical weapons. Formic acid, a potent irritant. But the Amazon ants are in a frenzy. They ignore the pain. They ignore the acid. Here it is, the treasure. Not gold, but life. The pupae of the next generation.
The nurses try to save what they can.
Surprisingly gentle. Their sharp sabers cradle the delicate cocoons without breaking them.
Mission accomplished. They turn and run. The raid is over in minutes. They leave behind a ruined generation. A lost future.
To us, it is a tragedy. To them, it is a harvest. A river of stolen lives flowing home.
Home, sweet home. The stolen pupae are handed over to the nannies.
She cleans it. She warms it. She thinks it is her own sister. But she is actually preparing the next generation of servants.
The nest scent soaks into the cocoon. Chemical brainwashing. When they wake up, they will smell home. A new life enters the world. A callow, pale, soft, and innocent.
Her first sight is a monster. But to her, this is mother.
Within hours, her armor hardens. Her identity is sealed. She is a slave. She doesn't question. She doesn't rebel. She simply gets to work, expanding a nest that isn't hers.
Lazy? Perhaps. But also ruthlessly efficient. Evolution doesn't care about morality.
In the scorching deserts of North America, food and water are scarce. Survival requires hoarding.
To find the lazy ones here, we must go deep, deeper than usual, to the secure vaults. Behold, the replets, living, breathing chandeliers of gold.
Her abdomen is swollen to the size of a grape. Her skin stretched so thin it is transparent.
She cannot move. She cannot walk. She is a prisoner of her own success.
When times are good, foragers bring nectar. They pump her full until she nearly bursts.
Her hard armor plates have floated apart, connected only by a membrane thinner than plastic wrap.
But during the drought, she becomes the savior, a living refrigerator for the colony.
But laziness has a risk. If she loses her grip, she is too heavy to ever climb back up.
She will lie there until she bursts or is consumed by her sisters. The ultimate price for a sedentary life.
In the meadows of Europe, beneath the wild thyme, a red ant colony hides a terrible secret.
There is a monster in the nursery, a fleshy giant that looks nothing like an ant.
Chemical camouflage. It mimics the colony's scent perfectly. To the ants, this giant smells like their own sister.
But it does more than smell right. Listen. It sings.
It mimics the sound of the queen ant. It is speaking the language of royalty.
Because it sounds like a queen, it is fed like a queen. The workers starve themselves to feed the imposter.
The ants will lay down their lives to protect the very creature that is eating them alive.
It does nothing. It produces nothing. It simply consumes. The ultimate lazy success story.
Winter arrives. The meadow freezes. Deep underground, resources are running out.
The colony is starving. The workers look at the giant fleshy blob not as a queen anymore, but as meat.
To survive, it must change. It sheds its soft, edible skin and becomes a hard, armored chrysalis. Too late. The soft meat is gone. Now it is a fortress, safe from the hungry jaws.
It enters a state of deep hibernation, waiting, for 10 months, sometimes 2 years.
Spring returns. The signal is given. The sleeper awakes.
The disguise is broken. It no longer smells like a queen. It smells like prey. Run! It must reach the surface before its wings expand. If they open underground, it will be trapped forever.
Made it. The ultimate con artist takes to the sky, leaving the ants to wonder, where did their queen go?
From the forest floor to the 35th floor. Some ants have abandoned nature entirely.
They don't dig tunnels. They don't build mounds. They simply move into ours.
The pharaoh ant. Tiny, yellow, translucent, the ghost of the insect world.
They are tropical ants. In our temperate homes, they seek out our artificial suns.
No hunting required. One dropped grain of sugar is a feast for the entire squad.
Grease, meat, dead insects. They are the ultimate cleanup crew.
They are too lazy to even fly for mating. They just walk a few feet away and start a new colony. It's called budding.
This laziness is their strength. One colony splits into two, two into four, until they infest the whole building. But living with giants has its risks. The landlords eventually notice.
The toxic rain falls. Chemical warfare aimed at extinction. For the foragers caught in the open, it is the end. Nerve agents work instantly. But a few survivors escape, and they carry a message back to the Queen.
We are under attack!
This is where the human strategy fails. Attack a pharaoh colony, and they don't fight back. They split.
It is called satelliting, or budding. One threatened colony becomes 2 or 3 independent cells.
They move deeper, into electrical sockets, between floorboards, places the poison cannot reach.
Safety established. Production resumes immediately. The stress actually causes them to lay eggs faster.
Killed 10% of them. But in doing so, you created 4 new colonies spread across the house.
The infestation is no longer local. It is systemic. The building belongs to them now.
They are the ultimate squatters. Lazy, persistent, and impossible to evict. They are here to stay.
It emerges, but not as a queen. It is now a soft, wet intruder in a nest of killers.
The aphids. They are the cows of the insect world. They do nothing but eat plant sap all day long.
And here comes the farmer. She isn't here to eat them. She is here to check on her livestock. She strokes the aphid with her antennae, a specific massage that signals, "Give me the sugar."
Honeydew, essentially sugary excrement. Waste to the aphid, but gold to the ant.
Why hunt for food when you can just drink it straight from the tap? It is the ultimate lazy meal.
But farming has risks. Wolves exist. In this world, the wolf is a beautiful ladybug.
If the plant dries up, the farmer moves the herd to greener pastures. It is rotational grazing.
Farming allowed humans to build civilization. It seems the ants discovered that secret millions of years before us.
High in the canopy, exposed to wind and rain, living requires a fortress. But there is no dirt here to dig.
Meet the weaver ant, an acrobat, a warrior, and a master architect.
To build a nest, they must pull living leaves together. But the gap is often impossible for one ant to cross.
So they form a living chain, holding onto each other's waists, spanning the void like a suspension bridge. Once connected, they pull. Hundreds of ants, synchronized perfectly, bending the branch to their will.
But they have no tools to fasten the leaves, no nails, no rope. So she goes.
This larva is specialized. It gives up its own silk, destined for a cocoon, to build the colony's home instead.
She uses the baby like a living glue gun, squeezing it to release sticky silk, sewing the leaves together.
A fortress in the sky, built without tools.
They are the nomads of the jungle. Army ants. They never stay in one place for long. Blind, aggressive, and armed with jaws so large they can't even feed themselves.
Night falls, but they haven't dug a tunnel. They haven't found a cave. Where will the queen sleep?
They are too lazy to build a home. So they become the home.
A bivouac. A living nest made of 500,000 bodies, hooked leg to leg.
If it gets too hot, the walls simply move apart. Biological air conditioning.
Deep inside, the queen is safe.
Dawn breaks. The house wakes up, unpacks itself, and walks away.
They own nothing but themselves. The ultimate minimalists. Why build a home when you are one? For most ground dwellers, a flood is a death sentence. The tunnels fill with water. Drowning is inevitable.
But the fire ants don't panic. They have a plan encoded in their DNA.
As the world drowns, they simply float.
An unsinkable island made of fire. Their bodies are hydrophobic. They trap a layer of air bubbles, allowing the bottom layer to breathe while underwater.
The queen sits on a throne of her daughters, high and dry. Not a drop touches her.
A mistake! This is not a log! This is a floating minefield!
They don't just float, they eat. Anything that touches the raft is consumed.
They take turns. No one has to hold their breath forever. The raft is a constant cycle of sacrifice. They can drift for weeks. A lazy, floating nightmare, waiting to make landfall and conquer new ground.
On the dry, sandy floor, there are craters. They look empty, but they are mines.
One step too close. That is all it takes.
The walls are built at the exact angle of repose. The slightest touch causes an avalanche.
If the fall doesn't catch her, the artillery will. The antlion throws sand to knock her off balance.
She runs. She climbs. But gravity is the ultimate trap.
She is dragged into the underworld to be consumed.
It injects digestive enzymes, liquefying the ant's insides. Then, it drinks the milkshake. The husk is discarded. The trap is reset. And the lazy hunter waits for the next fool.
We started with a question. Why do they do nothing? We found that their stillness is actually a reserve of power.
We saw that total inactivity can be the ultimate sacrifice, giving up freedom to save the colony from starvation. The truth is, there are no lazy ants, because the ant is not the animal. The colony is the animal.
We humans obsess over productivity. We fear stillness. But perhaps the ants know something we have forgotten.